Dear followers, welcome back to my channel and to another new video. So today's video is about a latest navigation technology that we will be discussing. So without wasting any more time, keep all the navigation apps ready and let's get started. So guys, as in very previous videos I had talked about GPS like 5-6 videos back. I talked about GPS, its functionality, the work it does, the way it operates, all those things. Now this kind of new navigation technology is being brought up by India. Yes, NavIC, GPS and NavIC. We'll be even doing a quick comparison and we'll be discussing about the latest highlights. So NavIC stands for Navigation in Indian Constellation, NavIC. Now why did this come up in the first place? Now GPS claims to have 33 satellites and one satellite as a backup, and which completely covers the Earth in the MEO, medium Earth orbit, so which determines the location in real-time tracking. Now NavIC also works in the same kind of principle, but let's see what it is. So as we know, GPS was also launched by the US government very late in 1950s or 1940s during the war time. Now that was to mainly find out soldiers who were lost fighting wars and to retrieve them back to their home. Now NavIC does not share that kind of a story, but it has some good kind of story. Now NavIC as a GPS, it's not GPS. NavIC is again a kind of a system which was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister and which was taken up by ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Now what it does is it keeps all the satellites in the geostationary and geosynchronous orbit, which I'll be discussing in a minute. Now as let's go back to the history. Why did India wanted to launch their own satellite navigation satellites? As in 1999 the Kargil war happened, India approached the United States to lend over their 3 to 4 GPS satellites to track out the way how the terrorists are coming or the way the attack is going to happen, so that the country would be prepared for the loss, or it can try not to get a high loss but can try to keep preventive measures before the war. Now US rejected it and they didn't allow them. Now please don't get me wrong, at that time it might be some different scenario due to which US has rejected it. So due to which India then thought, they took up that we will also build something like this for our own purpose. Now going that in 2019 and 2020, this has been successfully done. Now India has launched 8 satellites, IRNSS A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So H and A had failed because IRNSS A, that was the first IRNSS satellite, that was failed as the atomic clock had a failure. The atomic clock was not able to calculate. Now this launches and the satellite being placed was started very early in mid 2015s, and this roughly lasted around early 2018. Now 2019, mid 2019 the official statement came out, and last week the proper statement came out from ISRO. Now what did happen to it? Now the IRNSS A got failed, simultaneously IRNSS H got failed because of a launch failure, due to which IRNSS I was sent to fix all those 8 satellites, meaning the 8 satellites capacity to be properly completed out. Now in that case what happens? Now as GPS is located on the MEO, medium Earth orbit, let's start comparing it. Now GPS is on the MEO, medium Earth orbit, whereas the IRNSS satellites is on the geosynchronous and geostationary orbit. Now you will ask, what is a geostationary and a geosynchronous orbit? Geostationary orbit is that kind of orbit wherein The Indian part, the Indian subcontinent, the satellite is always facing towards it, as there is 24 hours in a day and the earth rotates, wherein the satellite will be rotating laterally to it. There are 3 satellites moving laterally as geostationary, and there are 4 satellites which are moving in geosynchronous pattern, meaning they move longitudinally. So if the India is here and it moves like this, the satellite will be moving all over like this, whereas the geosynchronous satellites will be moving in a round longitudinal position, which keeps the real-time location data. Now what are the proper major uses? Now both has 20 meters of range, the resolution range, that is the proper accuracy is of 20 meters. Now 20 meters, what does it mean? That is 20 meters plus or minus. If you are standing in a position Y, so the location would be X plus 20 meters or X minus 20 meters. Now this is both the satellite systems and the navigation system give the 20-meter range for general public, but NavIC is claimed that it has a high frequency range and a proper resolution range of 1 meter. That is way too high. Now this is not properly revealed, nobody is able to reveal, and this is not actually going to be revealed, but it is said that it has a resolution range of 1 to 2 meters. That is which will be mainly used for the national security department, that is the Air Force, Navy and the Defense Army. So which will be using for obvious reasons which you can understand and which I will not be telling. Now as GPS has 33 satellites, one as backup and 32 satellites as the primary work satellites, which keep changing over. Now GPS satellites use the 3 satellite pattern, meaning if you're standing somewhere, so the 3 satellites would be used to determine your location, and if there is some kind of hill or any kind of mountain range and you're standing just beside to it, just assume that, so at that time the signals might be blocked by the mountains, and due to which your location will take lot of time to be determined, which will create a delay. Whereas as the GPS is a MEO and as the NavIC is in geostationary and geosynchronous orbit, it will take no time and has a fixed particular calculation to calculate your location. So in the case which is very efficient, you can't tell that, because NavIC has not been started for the general public, which will be coming out soon, as Realme and Xiaomi have signed up the agreement to use NavIC chips, which will be manufactured by Qualcomm and which will be coming in their phones. So whenever the phone is in the Indian range, so that time NavIC will be taking over, and whenever it is out of the Indian range, that time the GPS satellites will be taking over. And if suppose both are combined and are worked efficiently, that would give out a much efficient location system. So guys, I hope you like this video, and please do like this video, share this video and subscribe to my channel. This is a really great video and technology coming up, so do share it with everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.